So the key here is also we want to try to make this as simple as possible. So to make that as simple as possible, we got 3 crock pots over here. And all we're going to do is set it, throw some seasoning in these things, and then forget about it. Come back for a couple hours. Once we're all done cooking, and we can just go ahead and just throw it in our meal prep containers. So remember, sometimes the best thing to do is to always keep it simple. So I'm not suggesting you have to go out and buy 3 crock pots. I just happen to have 3 crock pots. So let's get started with this. We got our can of beans. We're gonna throw 1 can of beans into the crock pot like that. Then we're gonna go ahead and grab a ground turkey. Open that up, check our ground turkey out. Go ahead and drop that into the crock pot as well. You don't want to cook this, so we'll take that out. Next, instead of actually going with the pre-made mix for chili, I'm just going with some Fleet Farm dark chili powder along with some of this Food Club chili powder. Go ahead and season up this ground turkey. Getting pretty hefty with it, Texas style. Go ahead and throw that in there as well. I sometimes just pour about half a can of these beans and just drop that in there as well. Now we got it in there. All you gotta do is put it on high and let that thing cook for a couple hours. So in our next crock pot, we're gonna go ahead and throw this ground beef in there as well. Since I'm more of a set it and forget it type of guy, I'm gonna throw this in there. I'm gonna throw some taco seasoning in there. Go ahead and slow cook this tacos with the ground beef. Then I just fill this, what's this called, this container or whatever this came in, the taco seasoning. I usually put 2 drops of water in there. So that's 1. I'll fill it up again and put more water in there. So I filled up the water again with this. And like I said before, we're gonna put 2 of these filled with water. Drop it in there in the crock pot. Turn it up on high and let that cook for the next couple of hours as well. So generally when I cook my chicken, I usually just throw it on the grill and then, cut it up and put it in the meal prep containers that way. Then I go ahead and get some of this Sweet Baby Ray's, no sugar added, barbecue sauce. This is really the only thing I eat in my diet that's considered processed. Everything else is usually whole foods and things like I said before. But you can go ahead and check the macros out on this. It's only 15 calories per serving. No added sugars. That's why I go ahead and throw this on there. So just eat plain chicken breast. There's certain time of the years where you might not want to use this and you might get tired of it. But I also go with, just generally regular hot sauce as well. So since I want to go with 7 days worth of chicken in this crock pot, I actually only do 1 serving of barbecue. Well, this no sugar barbecue sauce per serving. So that's 32 grams is in 1 serving. So 32 times 7, that is 224 grams, just so I'm not getting excess amount of calories here and there. So I think, I already tried to weigh it out. I only got about 130 grams in here. Yep, so we're about 140. So, a little less than 1 serving, a little less than 15 calories. So yeah. Go ahead and throw this chicken in here. Chicken in this crock pot. Might have put this chicken in the other crock pots. They're a little bigger. So we might go with half of this chicken being cooked this way. We'll throw them all in there and see what happens. Like I said, this is my first time trying this as well. But then I'm going to go ahead and drop this barbecue sauce in there. So I guess you can call this pulled barbecue chicken. There we go. Go ahead and drop this top on here. Go grab some seasoning. Throw a little seasoning on this, so that we'll just let this sit for the next couple of hours as well. Just in case you guys thought we ain't put no seasoning on this chicken, just barbecue sauce. It's not how we roll around here, so we're gonna go ahead and throw a little more seasoning on there, season that thing up. Then we're gonna go ahead and scoop the rest of our barbecue sauce out of here. Drop that in there, mix that up, get that chicken right. Let that sit for a couple hours and we'll check back in on it. So now that we already taken care of our proteins, We're gonna go ahead and move over to our potatoes, get ready for those for breakfast. So I'll go ahead and dice these potatoes up like so. So now that we got our potatoes all cut up, I like to hit them with some of this non-cook spray, butter flavoring. Put that in there. Help crisp them up a little bit when we put them in the air fryer. Stir it up. Don't let them fall out. Get them a little bit more. Put your hands in there. Don't be afraid now. That's why you wash your hands. Mix it up. One last hit. Cook and spray. Just trying to keep some of the oils down, so we're not going to put any olive oil or stuff like that in there. Even though that's all good stuff, olive oil is good for you. We're not going to use any of that olive oil. Go ahead, dry your hands off. Get some more. Crack some more of that seasoning in there. Crack some seasoning. Going with a little garlic and pepper seasoning. Usually just go a little garlic, some salt in there. Get your hands in there. Go ahead and mix it up a little bit. You really get in there. Seasons. Get some more of them peppers. Crack that pepper a little bit. Get a little more of that seasoning in there. Get right back into it. Yep. Grab your trays for your air fryer. Go ahead and throw the potatoes on each tray. Spread them out. So now that we already made our potatoes for the week, I went ahead and threw the oatmeal in there and threw our walnuts, and then put my own brown sugar in there. That way I can control how much sugar I'm actually eating in there. So that's where the oats and the walnuts, that's already in there. And we'll go ahead and drop our potatoes in here on the other side of this compartment for our meal prep. And go ahead and drop these egg whites that I already seasoned into this cast iron to cook these eggs for this week. So now, we don't want to cook our eggs all the way through because we're going to eventually warm these back up in the microwave. So we're going to go ahead and drop our egg whites off into these meal prep containers for the week. So let's go ahead and get this fresh broccoli ready. You go ahead and grab it, cut it down. Go ahead, really cut up this broccoli good. Leave some of these stems out. If I have more room, when we get done with all of these, we'll go ahead and throw those stems back in there. But for now, we'll see if we have enough space to throw them in there. So boom, we chop these up. Go ahead, put them in this container. There we go. Put them in the container just like so. So next up, I just got done peeling all these carrots, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the ends of them to go ahead and put those into our meal prep containers. So we're going to go ahead, cut the ends of these carrots, chop them up like so, and drop these off in our containers just like so. So I went ahead and I already cut up those sweet potatoes and mashed it. Now we're going to go ahead and add our sweet potatoes to our meal prep for the week. Yeah, so I like baking these sweet potatoes, getting them nice and soft, and then I go ahead and actually whip them up. Alright, so this is the majority of this stuff. I say this is about maybe 50 to 70% of what I'll eat throughout the week. As you can see, we got the dinners with the chicken up front. We got our afternoon meal as well with the ground turkey. You can see we're still trying to get the sweet potatoes, the carrots, the broccoli. We got our fruit selection with our blueberries, strawberries, our multiple different apples, some of the bananas we'll eat without in the week. And then we also got our spinach, we got our greens covered, and then we got our breakfast here. As you can see, we got the egg whites, with the potatoes, with the oats. So like we said before, if you want to eat and fuel your body like a professional athlete, this is just, one of the meal preps that I go throughout the week. It's also one of the meal preps that I use with the athletes that I train to get the best results that we can on the field, on the track, to ultimately fuel our bodies for success. Remember, what you put in is what you get out. Let me know if you guys have any other videos, if you want to see some of the other recipes that we make throughout the week, or if you got any questions in terms of training, recovery, or anything else in terms of that realm. Stay tuned for more videos.